What's up, guys? Back again for some more One Piece action. Hope everyone's doing good today. Today we got my live reaction to chapter 1119 entitled Emmet. All right, so if you guys remember, in the last chapter, Straw Hats and everybody were trying to escape. Gorosei, they were trying to stop them. They were trying to stop the Iron Giant, which had kind of gotten taken out, fallen into the sea. Vegapunk's message got cut off. We have all kinds of craziness going on. The rest of the world is kind of wondering, like, what was Vegapunk about to say? So, what do you guys think we're about to get into in this chapter? Well, let's find out. All right, so starting off, we got the cover story. Looks like we're continuing. Only Child Yamato and the Holy Inari Shrine Pilgrimage, Volume 9. And it says, Kibi getting stoned by kids who resent Kaido. All right, so a bunch of little kids throwing stones at Yamato. Obviously, they must realize Yamato is Kaido's quote unquote son. Cool, cool. But let's jump into this chapter. All right. All right. So we're jumping back. Looks like we're heading up to the Labo phase. And it says words that shroud the truth. And then, okay, so someone's yelling. They're like, go, Stussy. All right. Is this Kaku? All right. Okay. Yeah. So we got Kaku and we got Stussy, inside the destroyed Labo phase, kind of command center right there. And they're like, you knew this would be my response, right? Friends, don't make me laugh. And then we see Stussy. She's kind of like speechless. I did respect you. You were a relentless associate, but nothing will sway Lucci when he comes back. All right, so Kaku is like, look, you need to get out of here, Stussy. Like, I used to respect you, but not anymore. And Lucci definitely isn't going to play around. And then we see Stussy, she's got tears in her eyes. She's really feeling that guilt of having betrayed Kaku and Lucci right there. She's like, Kaku, and we see Kaku, he's like, just leave, like, just screams at her, like, to leave. And then we see him kind of looks like he's turned to the side, looking away from her, fighting back tears. He's like biting his lip right there. And then, damn, okay, we're cutting right back to Luffy and Bonney in there. Nika forms right now. So we see Bonnie, she's kind of tripping out right there. We see Luffy, he's just having a blast. He's like, yo, this is going to be a blast. All right. So are we about to have a showdown between two Nikas and the Gorosei? And then what do we got? Okay, so the Navy personnel, they're like, that Straw Hat's face, it's just like his bounty poster. And they're all like freaking out looking. And then we see the Giants, they're familiar with the myth of sun god Nika. So they're like, Nika, they're like seeing it in person. They're just like, yes, pumped up. All right. And then what do we see? Okay, so we see the giant ship right there. But then kind of up in the corner, right, we see Gorosei, the one that turned into like the bird is flying towards them. And they're like, two Nikas, I see. She made a facsimile with her age powers. Don't get ahead of yourself. Okay, so Goro says like, yo, don't get ahead of yourself. And then we see Luffy. He's like, guys, nothing hurts these guys, even if they're sliced up or crushed. All right, so Luffy is obviously, recognized from battling with them a couple of times how strong, how durable, how just unbeatable these guys are right now. It's not like he didn't go at them in his Gear 5th form, so he's fully aware. And what do we got? And then he's like, that's why I want you to give it your all and hurl me at him at full force. All right, so we see Luffy. Looks like he blew himself up and like, infused himself with hockey. And he's telling the Giants, like, yo, I want you guys to throw me at him. All right, let's see if this will work though. We see Luffy's tongue sticking out. And then, okay, we see Sanji. What's he got to say? So all we can do is throw you straight at it, Frankie. Give it our all, huh? You asked for it. And then we see Bonnie over there. She's like looking at Luffy like, we're going to attack Luffy? Why? Like, wait, aren't we supposed to be like trying to run away? Bonnie's like, yo, this is cool, but shouldn't we be running away? And then we got Broggy over there. I think we'll leave the bird to you guys then. Stop down. Okay, we see all the giants in the background doing their little Nika dances, having a good time. But, the fire is still burning on top of their ship. He's like, stop dancing, you fools. Put out the fire and set sail. They're like, what? But you two were doing it earlier, Captain. He's like, oh, come on. We saw you guys doing it. We're like, yo, this is not the time right now. And then all of a sudden, okay, Luffy just looks so menacing in this panel right here. He's like all massive looking. And he's got both arms, grab both of the wings of the bird right there. And he's like, hurry. Well, I've got a hold of it. He's like, okay, you guys get out of here. Let me take care of this. But then we see Sanji. Oh, This is a familiar shot right here, Sanji, in a aloha shirt, gearing up. He's like, Captain's orders are absolute, Bonnie-chan. Ifrit Jambe. And then we see Frankie getting ready. He's got his strong right. And then, oh man, even look at Bonnie over there. She's getting into it too. She's like, all right then. And then we see her hand. She's welling it up like Luffy does when he's in his gear third, making a giant, a giant fist right there. And then they're all just smashing in, Luffy to smash him straight into the Gorosei as he's got him locked in place. Like he ain't going nowhere. And she's like, memories, right? Punch! And man, she just throws this massive, and you just see Luffy's eyes bugging out of him. His tongue is, just shooting out of his mouth. And he's like, ouch, that hurts. All right, then what do we got? Okay, so like I said, yeah, he's like screaming. He's like, it hurts. We see Bonnie, she's screaming. And then what do we got? Okay, so we see the Gorosei. And then all of a sudden they're like, of course it does. You guys are using hockey. Now gum gum. All right. And then we see Sanji, he's like screaming at them. He's like, don't let up, keep going. Even Frankie's over there. He's like, keep going till you've crushed the life out of him. And then Bonnie's like, what's wrong with you guys? Like, you're killing your captain right now. Luffy is just taking all these impacts into him. But if he can use it, and then, yes, right there. All right. So all of that impact, and he sends Gorosei flying off into the distance. Booming Dawn Balloon. All right. So throwback to the Gum Gum Balloon of old, back in the day right there. All right. Pretty cool. Then what do we got now? Okay, yeah, so definitely not defeated, but definitely got sent flying. So this is definitely our chance for the Straw Hats to escape, get everyone on board. Any stragglers, I'm hoping maybe we still hear a little bit from the Iron Giant or something from him to Luffy. They're like, all right, it's gone. It won't be back anytime soon. All right, and then okay, we're seeing the giant ship right here. Okay, and it looks like okay, yeah, we see Luffy and Bonnie. They're kind of jumping back down, still in their Nika forms, but just the small Nika forms right there. Let's get going, guys. Oh my god, all right. So you guys thinking we're gonna make a clean escape right now just because Luffy cleared the way? Or you guys think we're about to get a little bit more trouble? I feel like it can't be quite that easy. You know what I mean? Like that was a solid effort. We sent him flying, but I just can't imagine it being that clean of an escape. He's like, what about Usopp and the others? That's right. Where's the Thousand Sunny? And they're like, they were meant to fly down and meet us here, but they're late. All right, so we know they were running in to some issues with Nostro up there. The flame, or not the flame clouds, but the clouds had been extended so that they could send the Thousand Sunny off and shoot into the water right there. And then what do we got? Okay, so she's like, I'll go check. Atlas Chan, York is monitoring us. Lilith, where? Okay, so Atlas and I think Lilith are trying to communicate. Okay, here we go. Here we go. We're getting the Iron Giant right there. So looks like he's sunk kind of all the way down to the ocean floor, but seems like he's still alive right now. And he's like, nothing, nothing of the sorts. That's why. All right, and we see Denden Mushi looking like it's dying right there. Oh, is the feedback? Hold on, hold on. Whole Cake Island. All right, so we see. Looks like that's Katakuri and I believe that snack right there. Whoa, that ceaselessly inherited aspect. Oh, yep. Vegapunk's message is continuing. All right. So remember, nothing of the sort. That's why that ceaselessly inherited aspect. What is he talking about? We can call it a will. Okay, so we're getting the description of the Will of D. What's going on? And then okay, yeah, we see Morgan's. He's like, oh, it's back on. We see Vivi with him. They're like, it's back on. Was it a bad? Okay, so no one really knows what's happening. They don't know, the Iron Giant that was guarding it got taken out. The rest of the world has no idea kind of what's going on Egghead, or exactly what's going on Egghead. They're just seeing this message, so they have no clue, why did it cut out? Was it just a bad signal? What's going on? But then, okay, then we see York over there. She's like, Elders, you just interrupted the transmission. Like, you didn't stop it. You just interrupted it. And to those that have suffered for this. All right, so again, he's talking about the D. The snail's memory circuit is still intact. You have to destroy it directly if you want it to shut down for good. All right, so even though, the Gorosei was able to take out the Iron Giant. They were able to knock it into the water. They didn't completely take out the snail, so the message is continuing on. All right. And then what's okay? So we can call it a will. And to those that have suffered for this, I can only pray my voice reaches you. All right. So is this a clear message for those bearing the D initial? And then what do we got? We see okay. So we see Luffy, and he's like, "Huh? What the?" And mind you, we see Gaimon right there listening. Or why does it show Gaimon? I'm not sure. And then we see okay. So we see the giant ship, and then they're like, "Is this rain? Was that an explosion?" All right, so oh, maybe this is the Iron Giant like shooting up out of the water because it's like raining down on them, and they're like, "No, what's going on?" Oh no, this is from when they cut the island in half. I guess it's the Cipher Pol agents and a bunch of debris. They're falling out of the sky. Catch them, they'll die. All right, so all of the people, when Noshiro cut the labo stratum, the cloud that everything was based on, kind of cut it in half. This is all the people, like, man, they've been falling for a minute right now. And then, okay, so we see them running. All the Navy guys are trying to catch the Cipher Pol agents, and they're like, the Seraphim are here too. Okay, and then we just see Luffy over there just kind of enjoying seeing, watching the chaos unfold. He's like, look, old timers, that monster's spitting them out. Oh no, that's the what do you call it? The worm guy, the worm Gorosei. He's spitting everyone that he kind of sucked up out. And he's like, it's coming for us. We gotta hurry and get some distance. All right, so like I said, it can't be that easy. Okay, yeah. Remember, if you guys remember before, he tried to like inhale and suck everyone up right there, and it looks like he's trying to do it again. So we even see the giant ship, as big as it is still getting sucked in with the waves right there. And he's like, "It's gonna suck us in. Move it." And they're like, "Damn it! After all the progress we made, he's pulling us back. Furl the sails. Use the oars instead." All right. So the giant's about to just get out and start paddling or rowing or whatever they got right there. And then, okay, not if Luffy's got something to say about it. He's like, "You bastard," and he jumps up and he just whack, cracks the worm right in the mouth right there. So it kind of cuts off the vacuum that he was pulling everyone back in. And then we see the giants, they're like cheering him on. They're like, "Yeah, get him, Nika." And then we see, okay, so Doll's still in like her little child form from when Bonnie changed there. And they're like, a giant white monster and raining Cipher Pol agents. Even dreams aren't this wild. All right, now we got the Boar. Everyone trying to make it to the shore and stop Luffy and the Giants from escaping right now. Or are they more concerned with trying to stop the message because it's continuing? And then we see, okay, yeah, we see Luffy over there. He's battling with the worm. We see the Boar. He's like, the Boar's heading right for you. Look out. And then he's like, his skin is okay, Luffy. He's like trying to warn everyone. He's like, yo, his skin is super strong. Like, be careful with your attacks. And he's like, it's gonna smash the ship. We gotta run. And just like the sheer size in the next panel, we see the Boar getting ready. Looks like almost to jump off the shore and ram into the giant ship. And we saw how big the giant ship is in comparison to all the other naval battleships that are there. It's just massive, and literally this Boar is the same size. Like he's literally about to jump off. Oh, it looks excellent. And then we see Bonnie. Okay, so I'm guessing being in the Nika form is probably pretty taxing on her. Looks like she's kind of passed out. He's like, I can't hold it. Being free is too tiring. All right, so this makes sense. We've seen every time Luffy kind of gets one of his gears, there's always a drawback, especially when he first uses it and hasn't really mastered it. There's always some kind of drawback. Usually he passes out, shrinks, and in case of Bonnie, she shrinks back to her normal original form, which is her child form right there. And then, okay, it looks like I think that's the Iron Giant coming from the bottom of the ocean, looking up. Yep, and then we just hear Joyboy. Like Luffy hears it and he starts looking down. He's like, who's calling me? And then the giants, like, they're like freaking out right there, and it looks like, yep, it looks like the Iron Giant is just erupting out of the water right there. Oh, that's an epic shot. Yep, looks like he erupted right in between where the Boar was getting ready to jump off and the giant ship. He's like, listen up, Emmett. All right, is that Joyboy's real name, Emmett? This time, or the time is at hand, and it looks like He cracked the Boar to get him to knock him away from hitting the giant ship, from hitting Joyboy, aka Luffy, right there. Listen up, Emmett. The time is at hand. They're like, the time? What do we got? Okay, so it just says the time. We see Dory and Broggy. They're like, what the hell is that? They're like eyes bugging out. They're like kind of like Luffy. And then of course Luffy's over there. He's like Sugoi robot. He looks so cool. And it says the romance lives on. All right, that was a solid chapter. All right, what is this? Emmett. All right, you guys made it this far, and you guys are familiar, or you guys know what Emmett is. If there's some translation I'm not familiar with, please drop a comment. Let me know. Let me know what you guys thought about this chapter. Some solid action. We saw Luffy and Bonnie kind of teaming up. We saw Zoro and Frankie kind of pitching in. We're still waiting to see what's going to happen with Thousand Sunny. We had the Iron Giant show back up. He's dropping some information, not entirely sure what it is. I'm guessing Joy Boy's maybe original name is Esmet or something, or Emmett, excuse me. But yeah, excellent chapter. Looks like we got a break next week. So, make sure you guys leave tons of comments. Let me know what you guys thought. Let me know what you think is coming up in the future. Are we going to get a flashback now that the Iron Giant has kind of popped up and dropped this info? But yeah, let me know what you guys thought. Other than that, have a wonderful day, guys.